Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are diving into an exciting AWS project setting up a web server using Amazon EC2, RDS, and a custom VPC that we are going to create. Let's build a fully functional web application with step by step approach. So let's start. So step 1, we need to create custom VPC. A custom VPC stands for Virtual Private Cloud, is the foundation for this project. So we need to follow the steps. So follow my instructions. So you can also do hands-on project. You can put this project in your resumes also, right? So first of all, log in into your AWS console using your credentials. And after that, once you log into your account, just in the search bar, just type here VPC. Now you are going to redirect to VPC dashboard. So just click on create VPC. Now I am going to select here VPC only. Now give some name here for your VPC. So I am giving the name as custom VPC. So in this project, what we are going to do means, now see here, this is AWS, right? And inside this AWS, we are going to select one region. You need to choose a region. So in my example, I am going to choose Singapore region. Okay. So inside this region, I am going to create VPC like this. So this VPC is nothing but the custom VPC which I am going to take. Custom VPC. I am going to name this VPC as custom VPC, and the range I am going to take as 10.0.0.0/16. Okay. So the custom VPC range, and once we create our own VPC, now I am going to create 3 subnets like this. First subnet, second subnet, third subnet. Now I am going to name these subnets as, first subnet I am going to name as public subnet, and the range of the public subnet at 10.0.0.0/24. It means 256 IP addresses I will get, and I will take one private subnet -1. The range here 10.0.0.0/24. Okay, so I am going to take one more private subnet here. I am going to create one more private subnet. This one I will change to 2.0, and here also I am going to name this private subnet as private subnet 2. Okay, in this way I am going to create 3 subnets. So in the first public subnet, I am going to create a web server. I am going to create a web server, and here in the private subnets, I am going to create RDS. Okay, one subnet will work as backup, and one subnet will work as this database. Okay, so this RDS will be in both the private subnets. So multi availability zone we are going to choose. Okay, right. So now this web server will get connected to this RDS. Okay, with the help of security groups, we are able to do that. And we are going to create, we need to create one internet gateway, and this internet gateway we need to attach to the public subnet. This gateway I am going to attach to the public. This is nothing but the IGW. Oh, sorry. This is route table, which I am going to take here. This is nothing but the route table, and here I am going to take one IGW, internet gateway. I am going to create. Okay. Now this web server can communicate with the RDS. We will do that with the help of security groups creation. So we will do this part, right? So first of all, log into the account, and here just give the name for a VPC. Now I am giving the range as 10.0.0.0/16. Okay. Now click on create VPC. So you can see the CIDR range, classless inter domain range. CIDR stands for, and this is also called as slash value. Right. So once you are done with this VPC, now verify. After the creation, you should see the custom VPC listed in your VPCs section. So go here now and go to your VPCs. Now you can see here the custom VPC will be created. Okay. Now when you create VPC, automatically one route table will be also created. See here, route table created automatically. When you create VPC, along with that, this route table will get created. Now, why this step is important? The VPC is a private network for AWS resources. You can control IP addresses, IP ranges, subnets, and access. Right? Errors to be identified. Ensure that IPv4 range block is exactly should be this one only. If you when you are doing practice, follow my instructions for the first time. If you know the networking part, then you can configure your own VP. If you do any type of misconfigurations, that might cause subnet issues later. Okay. Next, let's moving forward to the step 2. We need to create subnets also. So what are subnets? Subnets are the smaller segments of the VPC. Use it to organize resources. We will create one public subnet and two private subnets. So for the purpose of easy understanding, now I am going to take one apple here. Now assume that this is the apple. Okay. Now assume that this is the apple. I told you to share this apple with 10 of your friends. Okay. What you will do? You will cut into 10 slices, right? This apple you will cut into 10 pieces. Then each piece will be shared among with your friends, right? So each part here is called as subnet. The entire apple, you can assume that it has a VPC, and each part, it means each piece from this apple is called as subnet. Okay, that's what this meaning. Small subnets are the smaller segments of your VPC. Use it to organize resources. We will create one public subnet, and we have created one public subnet as well as the two private subnets. Private subnets we are going to create because for the database and the backend servers. Public subnet, we have the web server. So obviously the web server will have the public subnet, public access, right? So public will come and visit our web server application and do the sort of next instructions. Navigate to the subnet section. Under the VPC, you find an option called subnets, right? So let's create public subnet now. I am going to name the click on subnets, click on create subnet, select our own VPC. I am naming it as public subnet, and after that select the custom VPC, right? So availability zone here I am selecting as 1A, and here the subnet range I am going to 10.0.0 slash dot 0 slash 24. 256 IP addresses that I am getting. One more subnet I am adding here, that is nothing but the private subnet. So we need to assign auto assign public IPv4 address should be enabled here. We will do that also. So one more subnet I am going to create, that is nothing but the private subnet. And the availability zone here also 1A I am taking, and here the range I am giving as 10.0.1.0 slash 24. Again 256 IPs I got, right? So again one more last subnet I am going to create, and I am going to name it as private subnet 2. Availability zone, this time I am going with 1B, and the range of CIDR 2.0 slash 24. Right, I have taken 3 subnets totally. Click on create subnet. So we have created 3 subnets. Now go to subnet section and check whether your subnets created or not. Now for the public subnet we need internet access. So select your subnet, go to actions and click on edit subnet settings and enable this auto assign public IPv4 address and click on save. Done with creating the subnets, and verify the subnets after the creation whether the public subnet, private subnet 1 and 2 are listed under the subnet section or not. Double check the CIDR range, it means the slash values we have given correctly or not. Why this step is important? The subnet separate public and private resources, improving the security and access control. So now you might understand that why do we require the private subnet and public subnets, because we need to improve the security level also for our application. That's very important, right? So next, the common errors we need to avoid that. Ensure that CIDR blocks do not overlap. So it means it's related to the networking part. And auto assign public IPv4 address for the public subnet only, not for the private one. Okay. Right, now let's move to the step 3. We need to create and attach an internet gateway. So now go back to the VPC, and here you can see option called internet gateway. Click on create internet gateway, give the name here, click on create internet gateway. Now this gateway I am going to attach to my VPC, custom VPC. Click on attach internet gateway. Okay, once you are done with that, so why it is important means the IGW enables internet connectivity for the resources in the public subnet. Whatever the instances that you are going to create in the under the public subnet, those all instances will get the internet access. Ensure that the IGW is attached to correct VPC. Our VPC name is custom VPC. That's the reason I have chosen that one. And an unattached gateways will not work. Step 4, we need to create and configure the route tables. So now next step, we need to navigate to the route table, and we need to create route table. No, here we don't need to create any route table. I told you previously, at the time of creation of VPC, automatically by default one more route will be created. Now let's name this as public route table. Just I am going to give the name as public route table and click on save. That's it. Now after this, route table will be already there. No need to create one more route table. Now go to edit routes and choose the destination as this 0.0.0 slash 0. This means we are enabling all traffic, and select the custom internet gateway. Now go here, go to actions, edit routes, click on add route and select this 0.0.0 slash 0, and here internet gateway, select our custom gateway and click on save change. Again go to actions, now click on edit subnet associations, select the public subnet and click on save associate. It means we are linking with our subnet. We are linking the route table with our public subnet. Linking, once the linking was done, now verify the route table configuration. Go back to route table section, confirm that public route table route is pointing to custom IGW. Okay, you can see the details here. Once you are done with that step, the notes for the step 4, why this step is important. Route table ensures uh, resources in the public subnet can communicate with the internet, and errors to be avoided. Ensure the destination is set configured properly. Verify route table is associated with the correct subnet or not, right? Let's move into the step 5. We need to create this security group. One security group is for web server and another security group for the database. So I am going to create a security group for the web server first. So go here and scroll down. You can see security groups here. Where is that option? Yeah, here. Under the security, there is an option called security group. Click on security groups. Very important step. And give the name as web server SG, and it is asking for the description. If it's not mandatory, if you want, you can put some description here. It's for the web server, and select your custom VPC. Add rule. The first rule, for any application, the common port is HTTP and source type anywhere. And one more rule I am enabling, that is SSH. So front end server only I want to connect to it, not anyone. So select here as my IP. Now click on create security group. In this way, we need to create one more subnet also for the database S. So I am giving the name as database SG for the database. The security group I am creating this for the database. So again, click on security groups, click on create security group, give the name and some description we will give here, like security group for RDS database. And select here as custom VPC. Now you need to enable rule, that is nothing but MySQL Aurora. Choose MySQL Aurora, and here now when the front end servers, they need to communicate with the RDS, means we can attach security group to the we can give the security group that is related to the front end. So already we have created a security group for the front end public subnet. So now right now we require that security group. So I am going to copy that security group here. So scroll down and click on security group here, and search for that security group which we have created, that is nothing but web server SG. So I am copying that same security group and I am going to attach this here. Now that's it, right? So protocol type is TCP and type is MySQL Aurora, port range and source is web server S. So no need to do changes in any outbound rule. By default, it is already allow all traffic, no changes required. Now click on create security group. 2 security groups I have created. Now verify the security groups. Ensure web server allows HTTP port 80 and SSH port 22, and make sure database you have selected this port and the web server as security group whether you have given or not. Why this step is important? Security groups protects your resources by restricting access. Actually, we can provide security in 2 levels. One is using this security group and one more option is NACL. Okay, so it improves the security of our application, these 2 options. Next, the errors that you need to avoid: using IP for the SSH to prevent unauthorized access. Set the database SG rule to allow traffic only from the web server SG. Let's proceed with this step 6. Launch an EC2 instance. The EC2 instance will serve as your web server. We will configure it with web server SG security group. So navigate to the console and search for EC2 service and click on launch instance. We'll name our instance as web server instance. Now go here Go to EC2. Here click on launch instance. So here I am giving the name as web server instance, and here Amazon Linux was taken. Now I am going to take here as HVM. Now after that we will take T2 family, or else you can take T3 family also. Let me take the instance type as T2, already it is there. Now key pair, let's select the key pair, give the key pair as my own key pair. I am giving the name as my key pair already existed, so hyphen 1 I am just, or else hyphen 2. Just click on create key pair. Now under the network settings, click on edit. Here you need to select the custom VPC, RDS and public IP4 enable. Select existing security group. Now select here web server as the security group. Now remaining all the things I am leaving as it is. Now click on launch. Click on view all instances. Right. So the next step, what you need to do, so wait until the instance status changes to running. Verify the instance. Now how can you verify the instance? In the EC2 dashboard, go to instances. Select your instance and note its public IPv4 address. We are going to use this to connect to the instance and access the web server later. Why this step 6 is important? The EC2 instance will host as a web server, and we use this to connect to the database. The errors, the common errors that we need to make sure that ensure you download that keeper.pm file. Without it, you won't be able to access the instance via SSL. Double check the web server SG security group is attached or not. Now let's move to this step 7. Connect to EC2 instance and set up the web server. Right, now let's connect to our instance. Let me refresh it once. Now select your web server and click on connect. Copy SSH command. I am going to connect through CLI. In your case, if you want to use putty or mobile XM, anything, that's fine. Now I am going to the location where keypair is available. Just I am pasting this code here, and it will ask me for fingerprint. Now just type yes. Now you can see here I have connected successfully to the web server. So now what is the next step? Once you're connected to the web server, now run this command as sudo yum update -y. This is the first command which you need to run to update the installed packages. Once you're done with this, next step, we need to install a Apache web server to host our application. So the web server will get installed now. Done installing the web server. Now we need to start the web server. So give this command, the web server will get started. Now by default, one page will be, the sample page will be shown automatically. Now I am going to copy the IP address of this machine, and I am going to paste in the notepad for the future reference. Now go back to any browser, open any browser. Just I am going to enter the IP address here and just press enter. You will see this test page. Okay, if you see this test page, the web server was successfully installed in your first instance. Right. Next, we need to install PHP. That PHP version should be above than 7. So give the command. This command I am going to give here. Now press enter. Now again, next command is this one. So some dependencies that we have installed now, and now restart the website. Done. Next thing what we need to do, we need to install MySQL also. So what is the command to install SQL? So install the MySQL client to connect to the RDS database. So we require this MySQL client. So I am going to install this MySQL. Once we are done with this step, next you should see the MySQL client version. How can you check the version? Just you need to go to the command prompt and just type here MySQL hyphen version. So it will show you the version of the SQL. Now we need to create database on RD, right? So before this step, first of all, we need to create the database, RDS database. So go back to your console. Now navigate to the RDS dashboard. So in the search, just type RDS. Now press enter. So click on databases. Click on create database. Uh, Select the standard one, and here you select the MySQL. Don't select any other option because uh, MySQL is getting giving some free of cost. So select MySQL and scroll down here under the templates. Make sure you selecting as under the free tier. Now scroll down. Database identifier is nothing but the schema. Schema is nothing but the space which we are getting inside the server. So the schema name I am going to enter as my database, and here the master username we need to choose. You can choose anyone, but I am leaving as default as admin. Now one master password I need to choose here. So I am going to choose this one. So don't use any at the rate symbols. It will not accept. So after this, and here I am going to choose dbt3.micro instance configuration. Once you are done with that, scroll down, and here I am going to select as this database related which name we have given there. Database SG, right? So database SG is not showing. I have created security group for the also, but it is not. I don't know why. So let's go here and select the security group. Here the database SG is there or not. Check it out. Go to actions. Yeah, it is showing here. Uh, this is also Singapore region, but I am not getting. Hmm. Okay, here we need to choose custom VPN. That's the reason it is not. Now go here and select the database security group and availability zone. You can choose 1A, 1B, 1C, anything if you like. So or else you can leave as default. Now just click on create database. Now the database will be get created. So once the database got created, we need to take the endpoint of the database. So what is the purpose of this database? We are going to use for the PHP purpose. Okay, for script later, right? So verify the database in RDS database dashboard. Wait until the DB instance status changes to available. So let's wait for it. It will show the message like this. No need to worry about that. Just click on close. Now let me do refresh once. So it is taking backup. Now select this database. Now you can see here we got the endpoint. So copy this endpoint and I am going to take this into the notepad. This is the endpoint of the database. So we require this one. And now next step. Connect web server to the RDS database. So how can we do that? So first of all, we need to navigate to this directory. So already I have connected to my instance, right? So now I am going to navigate to this HTML directory. So now go to the command prompt and just navigate there. Now press enter. So here we are going to create one file. So the file name we are going to take as, we have already installed a PHP, right? So now directly we can create one file with the name dbtest.php for testing purpose. Now press enter. So the nano editor will get opened. You can do with Vim or Vi, your wish. I am going with nano here. Now copy this code and give as, there might be some issues with this code. So first of all I want to check this syntax. So let first of all let me put this in notepad and we need to provide some details. First it is asking for the endpoint of the database. So provide the endpoint here, make some changes here, and the username I have given as admin only. Now it is asking the password. I am going to give the password as this. I have entered this password, so I have given same password, and that's it. We no need to do any other changes. So just copy the code as it is and just check the syntax. Just go here and take any AI and just I'm going to say here check the syntax and give me out. So now copy the syntax, copy the code and go back to your machine and paste the code here. Now how to save it? You need to press Ctrl O. Now press enter, Ctrl X, and again you will get back. Okay, you will exit from that, right? So in this way we can do it, and after that once you're done with that part, just restart the web server again. This is the command. Now let's go back to here and give forward slash and enter as dbtest.php. In the URL just enter dbtest.php. Now press enter. See, it is showing you error as error loading character set, right? UTF error, like this. You will get some errors. That's the reason we are checking this in. Now I will say this. So this is the correct syntax. Again we need to go to that location, go to that file dbtest.php. Now let me remove this code and again I am going to give the command. Okay, so now again I am going to save this one. Control O, press Control X. Now again restart the HTTPD server, go back to your browser and do refresh. Still it is showing the same error. The error got changed, I think. Okay, now I am copied. I have copied this one now. Now let me go to command prompt, go to the file again, remove the code and give this code. Control O, Control X, restart the web server, and let's check back again. To refresh now, is setting to false. Error check. Okay, read. Actually, I did not create the database also. That might be. So first of all, what we will do means we will create the database also. So to create a database, now follow the steps. Um, Step 8, yeah, here. So this command I am going to copy and go to notepad, and just I am going to take the endpoint of the database. Now I am going to create one database. Enter. It will ask you for the password. Now create database. Database name I am going to take it as SAM. Database created. Show databases. Now the sample database is showing. Now go back to CLI and just exit from this one, and let's go to that file now. Now let me do Control O, Control X. Now restart once web server. Now we will see whether we will get that error or not, or else we will troubleshoot one more way. See, now you can see that connected successfully to the database. This message you should see finally. Okay, testing completed. We have successfully connected to the database. Right. Next, moving forward. So these are all things we have done. Now step 10. Build a simple web application. So here in this step 9, you should see the final message that has connected successfully to the database. So this message, if you are able to see, means successfully the database we have connected from the web server. So why this is important means verifies that the web server can successfully communicate with the database or not. So common errors that you might encounter that you need to fix, that is this issue you might get, that is related to PHP. Make sure that the PHP version is above than 7, and character set error also it might show you like same way which I got. Right, for you also the same message it might be prompted. Right, check the syntax one or two times. And one more type of error like credentials error you might get. Make sure whatever the username and the password and the database name which you are giving, those details are getting matched or not. Troubleshooting, if you see any error loading this character, means just install this dependencies and check the syntax. That's it. Right, now let's move to the step 10. Build a simple web app. Right, now that the web server is connected to database, we will create a simple PHP web application to store and display user data. So we are already in this directory, I think so. Now let me verify once. Yes, we are in the directory called HTML, right? So here I am going to create one more file, that is I am naming as index.php. So go to the CLI and create one index.php. Now here give the code. So this code also we need to check actually. So let me check the syntax for this code. Okay. So I will ask to make it beautiful interface. I am going to ask to write a code to see something like somewhat beautifully, right? The interface should be. So write a code to look write a code by using some CSS part to look more beautiful. Yeah, it is going to write some code here. So did not take. Okay, we need to do some changes here. Just copy this one. Now go back to your editor Nano and paste the code here. Now what type of changes that we need to do means just we need to give here this RDS endpoint. We already have the endpoint, right? So the same endpoint I'm going to copy and I'm going to give here, and the password I need to enter here. So I have given the password, this one. Password I have entered, and sample database already there is available, and username is admin. That's okay, fine. Now control O, press enter, control X, exit. Once we are done with this, we need to test whether our application is accessible or not. So now we are moving to the final part. So instead of this, we need to type here index.php. Yeah, now you can see here it is showing us to enter some name and email. Now I am going to enter Banu and some mail ID also I am entering here. Now click on submit. It should not show any error. Okay. Now again do refresh. Go back. Now again I am going to remove this one. Just I am going to enter another detail at the rate. Okay. First of all, I did not create any table also, right? So we need to create table also. So where the details will get stored, or right? So table name also it's required, right? So table name I need to I'm giving as users. Okay. So table name just for the name and email purpose. So we need to update this PHP. Okay. I'm going to copy this one. So go to your CLI and go to tester. Okay, let's go to CLI now. Now press enter here. Let me remove this code. I'm going to give this code. Now Control O, enter Control X, restart it. Now go back to your web server. Now just type here db test.php. Oh, it is saying that connection failed, right? Okay. I think. Oh, okay, okay. I did not enter my password. Credentials are missing. Good. So let me enter the username here again. Oh, username is correct only. I need to change the password and the end URL. The RDS endpoint as URL to here. Control O now. Enter Control X. Restart. Go back to refresh. Successfully table users create. Now go back to uh, what we have created with the name. One more file we have created, right? Index.php. Okay, now go back to here and just type here index.php. Now again I'm going to enter details the rate gmail.com. New record created success. This message you need to get final. Now one more record like elevate with B. Elevate with B at the rate gmail.com. Now one more Rama at the rate gmail.com. Press enter. Now see, the users are coming here, they are entering the sensitive information. That sensitive information is getting stored in the database. Now let's go to database and check whether the data is getting stored or not. So now I am going to connect to the database. Give the command this one. Now it will ask for the password. Now I am going to enter my password. Connected successfully. Now just I will say show databases. Databases are there. The sample database there you can see here. Now show tables. Oh, okay. Uh, the table name which we have created, right? Table users, right? So to verify the table, just you need to give this command select star from user. Okay. So just copy this command and go here. Just press enter. No database selected. Okay, okay. Select database as uh, sample. Oh, I'm bad in SQL. Let me use sample. We need to give the command as sample. Okay. Now show tables. Users table is there. Next command select star from user. This is the command we need to see here. You can see the data which I have entered in the front end application. That data you can see. The sensitive information is stored in the database, right? In this way, we can in this way the real time what it happens, right? So this is all about this project. So I hope you understand, right? Optionally, see this will display all the registered users in the table. Ensure the users table is created before testing. Verify RDS endpoint and database credentials in the PHP code. So optionally, what you can do, you can provide more security for the web server, like you can provide some protected password, the entire web application by configuring HTTP authentication, even Apache, if you want to restrict public access even further. Alternatively, considering the setup a VPN for secure access to the private application. So right now, once you are done with this, all the things, now let's move forward and delete each and every thing that we have configured. This is the major step. So just navigate to the EC2 dashboard once and delete the instance. Now one instance is running. Now select your instance and just terminate it. Once you are done with this, now delete the database also. Go to RDS database. Now go to databases, select your database, go to actions, click on delete. Now make sure you are going to uncheck these options and select I acknowledge and type as delete. Now the database is going to get deleted finally. Now after this, go to VPC part. Here make sure each and everything that you're going to delete. Select your VPC. First of all, go to subnets. Select your subnets. Go to actions, or else go to route table first. Select the public route. Go on delete. Before that, we need to wait the instance terminated successfully. Go to VPC, custom VPC, delete VPC till the database is not sorry. Select the RDS till it is. Don't take any backups to VPC, custom VPC, delete VPC. Is saying network and go to internet gateway, select custom actions, detach. Now select it again, go to actions and delete internet gateway. Done. Next we have VPC route table, delete subnets, delete route table. If you delete the VPC, automatically these all things will go, but it will take some time for this. See here, now it is showing. Click on delete. Now everything will get deleted automatically. No need to worry about anything. Okay. Thank you all for